The general was forcibly fed poison by the king, but the next second the general began to glow with golden light. Immediately after he became immortal. It was then that the king realized everything the general had said was actually true. It all began 3 years ago. The king heard that the island of the immortals had pills that granted eternal life, so he ordered the great general to take 3,000 soldiers and 1,000,000 in gold to find the pills on the island. The general endured countless hardships and finally reached the island. He prayed to the gods and was granted the pills, but because the journey was extremely dangerous, only he and 2 of his men survived in the end. One of the men urged the general to keep the pills for himself, but the great general refused his suggestion. It never crossed his mind to keep the pills for himself. He only wanted to present them to the king as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the king had fallen gravely ill. When the doctor told him he only had 3 days left to live, the king accused the doctor of cursing him and killed the doctor with a sword. Just then a servant told the king the general had returned with the pills. The king was thrilled and summoned his ministers, but when the general presented the pills before him, the king suspected the pills were fake. The king asked the general, "If they are real, why didn't you take them yourself?" The general anxiously explained to the king that only the king was worthy of taking the pills, but this only made the king trust him less, because the island of the immortals was extremely far away. The general should have needed at least 10 years to reach it, yet he returned with the pills in just 3 years. The ministers quickly echoed the king's doubts and accused the general of trying to poison him, so the king ordered him to be executed. At that moment the pill suddenly emitted a golden glow. The ministers believed the pill was real, but the king was convinced it was poison. He believed no one could resist the temptation of immortality, so he grew even more furious at the general for deceiving him. In the next moment, the king coughed up blood and collapsed. The general immediately urged the king to take the pill. The king considered gambling on it, but suddenly the royal sorcerer interrupted. He claimed that the king would die if he took the pill. The sorcerer said the king was just sick and just needed medicine and rest. Then he slandered the general as trying to poison the king. In anger, the king ordered the general to be seized and forced the pill into the general's mouth. But in the next moment, the general's body glowed with golden light, and he became immortal.